down by a whole bunch of points. You bench Donovan McNabb. Oh, my God, we almost beat Dallas, but we didn't, and I had to listen to Brad text me all night. I mean, Brad, he's probably listening right now. He's happy.
Brad, how can you talk smack about teams that are under 500? I mean, you're both, what are you, both 5?
Both of us, we're disgusting. We might as well mail it in.
You're both, 5 and 13?
I don't know.
You're 5 and 9.
5 and 8, 5 and 9.
I mean, it's like, come on.
Back with the Sports Crutch right here, rock100diz.com. I wonder if I made my friends in Washington upset because I'm bashing the Redskins.
I don't think you can make them too much more upset than they were already upset.
How the hell are you going to bench Donovan McNabb and then you put in this numbnuts that played in
Sexy Rex Grossman?
That's his nickname, Sexy Rexy?
Sexy Rex from the University of Florida.
You put in this Gator bum, and you almost beat the Cowboys. I was shocked. At one point, they were down 27-7. People, 27-7, and guess what happened? He gets them back in the game. Rex Grossman, 322 yards, 4 TDs. But here's the bad part, 2 interceptions. I wonder if there are any pick sixes. Actually, Washington turned the ball over 3 times. So if you turn the ball over 3 times, you usually lose the ball game. Am I correct?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Now,
but the thing is, you really wonder, though, getting back to Redskins, is like there was a lot of debate this week that, like, Kyle Shanahan was the one that was running to his father saying, he's the one that doesn't like Donovan McNabb and he wants this. And, that's what the big thing is going on. They don't really.
So you're saying that Kyle Shanahan doesn't have any balls to tell Donovan McNabb, you're not doing what I want you to do, and you got to sit down. Is that what it is?
Well, I just think that
call a spade a spade.
They don't
Paul.
like him. I don't think the father and son are that crazy about Donovan at this point. And I think he was lucky that his agent got him that $3 million severance pay that he's going to get when they cut him.
Oh, so he gets $3 million when he gets cut.
Yeah, I mean, because he has a thing where he has a roster bonus, like kind of like what Hainsworth had. I guess it would come around March or something like that. He won't be around for that $10 million bonus. Trust me on that.
So what do you? So Donovan McNabb's just going to fade away into the sunset.
Well, no,
and then the jerseys that I went to trade like crazy to get are now worthless.
Well, there'll be another 5 at some point because you took the McNabb off of them, so there'll be a number 5 Redskin player.
Yeah, it'll probably be another Heath Schuler. Waste of time. I'm just so sick. I'm just fed up with Washington. I will always be a Redskins fan, people, but I am just fed up with the stupidity that comes out of management for the Redskins. Well, I mean, it's like Daniel Snyder is an idiot.
Well, you're going to be in the running for Cam Newton, and if I were you,
I'd get Cam Newton. Please give me a quarterback that can play.
You're picking in the top 10, okay. and I think you're going to pick a quarterback. And I'll tell you the honest truth, I really think you need to just analyze the team and see who you want. I mean, Santana Moss is still productive. Chris Cooley's still good.
Yeah.
But you've got a lot of guys on it. You got to get rid of the 35-year-old running backs. You just got to get younger.
Like this guy, that Terrain guy.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good.
I mean, you got
actually, your fantasy boy. What's the guy that always calls you every day about
Andy
fantasy?
B?
Andy B. I want you to listen to me, Andy B. Andy, I want you to take Terrain. Take him. Take him next week against Jacksonville. I think that boy's going to show out. It's going to be just like when McFadden came to town, Terrain's going to run all over the place.
But I really think, like I said, they just got to go young, and he probably should have done it this year. I think, it's like he came there, but he was the one that made the McNabb deal, so he must have thought there was a core of the team that maybe he could still boost them up. I don't know what his thoughts were when they got McNabb, but, you gave up young talent. I mean, you gave up draft picks to get him. So, that's why you take the Eagles and the Patriots. They know when they get rid of players, when they're still worth something, and pile up. I mean, look at the Patriots now. They have 8 picks in the first 2 rounds next year in the draft. They're going to be Super Bowl bound next year again. I mean, think of all the young talent they're going to get.
Yeah. Anyhow, Washington falls to Dallas 33-30. Actually, as I was looking at the box score, here's the funny thing, Paulie. Dallas won with a 39-yard field goal with 50 ticks left on the clock. So they battled back.
Yes. Well, the thing is, they ran for the first time yesterday at wild card, and it was kind of like Jason Garrett's getting kind of like scrutinized and saying, he's calling all these great offensive things and everything. And they said he didn't do it when Wade was in charge. Now, I don't know if Wade told him not to do it or whatever. But, there's that question of, did he really sabotage Wade in the play calling when he was the offensive coordinator, when Wade Phillips was the head coach, and now that he's on his own, he's innovative?
I like that. I would say yes to that one. Let's see, Tennessee 31, Houston 17.
Both teams go nowhere, but Chris Johnson, a stud as he always had. I think he had 3 touchdowns in that game yesterday. He's a stud.
And here's a game that really had no social significance whatsoever unless you lived off of I-75 in the state that's famous for a Buckeye and our friend Brad. Cincinnati snapped their 10-game losing streak.
And it was the Battle of Ohio. Does that mean the loser gets to leave?
Yes, 1917. Cleveland. So Cleveland.
Colt McCoy put up a decent game. What hurt them in that game is they couldn't stop Cedric Benson. I think he went off against them rushing.
Well, all I know is that Cleveland's going to move to Toronto, and that'll be the end of that.
That'll be Buffalo.
Oh, Buffalo?
Buffalo's going to Toronto.
Okay.
Once Ralph Wilson dies.
Colt McCoy was 19 of 25 for 243, 2 touchdowns. Carson Palmer 14 of 23, 209, no touchdowns, none. That's sad.
Well, another thing, too, is that
your boy Cribbs for Cleveland. What did he get? Let's see. I see he fumbled the ball.
But on the sad note for them, Terrell Owens is done for the season. He got injured, so he's done.
Oh, T.O.'s done.
So T.O.'s done, so that means back to the VH1 studios for more hot tub action. I guess.
Or better yet, T.O. will end up in Washington with the rest of the crazies.
I hope for your sake that doesn't happen.
Peter Hillis.
Peyton Hillis.
Peyton Hillis, 19 carries for 59 yards.
Yeah, subpar
so
effort.
He did pretty good.
He usually gets 100, though, so it was a subpar effort for him.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, the Sports Crutch rolling along, 888-860-0157. We're live, rock100diz.com. 33 after the hour with my buddy Paul Hollywood talking some sports. Let's see what other games were going on yesterday. Let me get my little stat sheet going.
Well, we didn't really talk. I mean, we talked about it slightly.
I'm going down the list now. Can I finish, please? Okay. Thank you. Atlanta 34, Seattle 18.
Now, you know what the big talk, and I actually listened to it some Atlanta radio today because I wanted to get the pulse of what was going on up in the ATL. And you know what the people in Atlanta are fearing more than anything else is Michael Vick coming down there for the NFC Championship game and just crushing them.
That's what's going to happen.
They are scared. Really scared about Michael Vick coming down.
It's going to happen.
Payback.
It's going to happen.
Well,
it's called redemption.
Well, that's what they're scared of. They are really scared about Michael Vick coming down there and lighting them up.
Well, Michael. This is what Michael Vick's going to do. Go back to your history books, people. Let's go back to, I believe it was April of 1865 when Sherman led the Union Army into Atlanta and torched Atlanta and burned Atlanta to the ground, and then they marched all the way to Savannah, which is now Interstate 16 if you follow your history books and your maps. That's exactly what's going to happen. Michael Vick is going to burn Atlanta to the ground.
Burn the Georgia Dome down.
Burn it to the ground, and then he's going to get on I-20 and march all the way to Dallas.
Okay.
For the Super Bowl. What? Mark my words. Captain said so, and I'm ringing the supper bell. It's dinner time in Dallas, people.
Yesterday, we didn't talk about the Patriots and the Green Bay game that much, but, Brady was leading in the All-Star votes for, the Pro Bowl, and Vic was behind him. I think yesterday Vic might have surpassed him because if you think about what Vic really meant to bringing them back, I think Vic is probably really the league MVP.
I think so, too, but we'll talk about the Green Bay game. Come on, I'm almost done. The Jets beat the Steelers. How did that happen? 22-17.
Well, I think the main reason it happened because Troy Polamalu did not play, and that gave the Jets some opportunity to have some time to pass on the secondary of the Steelers. Troy Polamalu is their MVP. Anybody that's a true Steeler fan knows that when Troy's not in the game, they're an average team without him. That's the bottom line. But the Steelers still had a chance at the end of the game to come back, and they just didn't make the plays. But, they could have pulled it out. But give the Jets credit. They were really down and out, and they really needed this victory, and they pulled it out. So, Sanchez was being chastised in New York. He didn't have a great game statistically, but he made big plays when they had to. Braylon Edwards made some key catches for him. I think he had over 100 yards. So
actually, he had 8 receptions for 100 yards.
Okay, I don't know. So you have to give the Jets credit. We were ripping them for the last 2 weeks. They finally stepped up and beat a quality team on the road. They hadn't ever won in the state of Pennsylvania in the whole franchise of the Jets. They never beat the Eagles or the Steelers on the road
What?
in their 51-year history. That was the first time they won.
I wouldn't go tell nobody that.
No, but they were 0-11 in the Keystone State. That was like yesterday. You had New York. Both New York teams played the teams from Philadelphia. That was the Empire State playing the Keystone State.
They never won.
No, 0-11 until yesterday.
That reminds me of reading up about the Pitt. What was it? The Pitt Eagles is what they call them. When they took Pittsburgh and Philadelphia and put the teams together during the World War II.
No, the Jets don't play Philadelphia that often, but they play the Steelers quite often. So that still was a alarming stat.
Sanchez was 19 of 29 for 170. No touchdowns, no picks. Roethlisberger was 23 of 44 for 264. One touchdown. His passer rating, 78.2 versus 81.1. Both of them ugly.
Yeah.
Just ugly. But then again, hold on a minute, Paulie. I-78 is in Pennsylvania. And I-81 runs through Pennsylvania. So,
well, I don't know if you didn't watch the
game.
game.
Go play those numbers,
but
people.
the game was in a driving snow, so it wasn't like the.
Oh, it was snowing.
It was snowing, so it wasn't like an ideal condition game. So you got to give them some. But I mean, that is their weather. So I mean,
there's no excuse for that. Now, speaking of no excuse, last week we told you we spoke with Jason Campbell, formerly of the Redskins, and off the record, Paulie was there. And I've got the video. I just haven't had a chance to upload it. I swear I will get to it. I will get to it before Christmas. It will be up.
You're not going to put the video of him off the record, I hope.
No, not off the record. Okay. Was off the record.
Okay, yeah.
I said to Jason Campbell, I said, son, we miss you in Washington. You're costing me a bunch of money down here in Florida. And he looked at me, smiled, dropped his head, went in the locker room. I hope that was enough motivation for him to whip up on Denver last night or yesterday afternoon, 39-23.
And that was the heralded debut of Tim Tebow as the starting quarterback. And I kind of look at it, Tebow did better than I thought. I thought he would, but he's still not a great quarterback. It's kind of like I think of like going in to see a Will Ferrell movie, and you think it's going to be a mutt, but you actually go there and laugh, and it's better than you thought. And I think
the other guys, okay.
And I think that's kind of like what you had with Tim Tebow yesterday. You thought he maybe could be really horrible, but he rushed for a touchdown, and he made one Hail Mary pass that the guy miraculously caught. So I mean, I like Tim Tebow personally, and I don't think he was worth the 3 draft picks that were quality draft picks in the first couple of rounds that Denver used to move up to get him. But I mean, I wouldn't mind having Tim Tebow on my team. He's a team guy; he'll do whatever it takes to win. So you got to give him that.
Okay, Tebow was 8 of 16 for 138 yards, 1 touchdown. Jason Campbell was 15 of 26, 238, 1 TD and 2 picks. But he still won the game.
And what did Mr.
Now,
McFadden
Now, McFadden was 20 carries, 119 yards versus, let's see, who was their big rusher? Wow, Tebow ran the ball 8 times and 78 yards. Tebow was Denver's big rushing man.
That's what I'm saying. He's a playmaker. He's the playmaker.
So maybe Jacksonville should have kept, I still say the Jags should have got either Vic or they should have got Tebow.
Well, no, Vic was the one they should have gotten. That was the one that, They had the fan base like Tidy Whitey. Oh, we can't have any controversial players.
And that's why Tidy Whitey's sitting at home playing with his grass and unemployed. New England 31, Green Bay 27. What do you think about that one?
I think that the Patriots overlooked them, and they were very lucky to come out with a win on it. Now, the key thing of that game, what everybody was buzzing about today, was that offensive lineman that weighed 313 pounds, Dan Connolly, doing that 73-yard run back. That was hilarious to see this big guy. And it was funny, with a kicker for Green Bay actually had a chance to open tackle him, and he just whiffed him because he didn't want no part of having a 313 guy run over him. So it was funny. He was the last man to get him there, and he just went whiff. But you could see he didn't really want to have no part of running into a 313 offensive lineman.
Nice, very nice. And on that note, we'll be back with more of the Sports Crunch after these words. Matter of fact, something that's going to happen in a couple of hours, in less than 2 hours, that hasn't happened since I was in high school. I'll tell you what that's going to be all about coming up.
And
Tom White here for the Skate and Hockey Shop at